camp for such a wonderful cause. So Vivaan and his family have done that, and they have returned. And today, we are going to hear from Vivaan about what that experience was like. So Vivaan, would you like to come up, please?
First, I would like to talk about the places we slept in, which are called tea houses. The lounge was warm of the tea houses because they'd use yak dung to light the fire, but the bedrooms were freezing because there was no heating, there was no charging points, there was nothing. We had to sleep in trekking clothes that we would wear in the morning because it was too cold to wear, to change into the trekking clothes in the morning. This made us realize how hard it must be for the people that sleep on the streets, especially now because the temperatures are dropping. Sometimes we'd even have to go outside the building to go to the toilet. Because the toilets had no proper doors and no proper lights, we had to take a head torch light and go out there. And the toilets were squatty potty, so it was really difficult. And we couldn't flush the toilets because it was frozen. We could not shower for 11 days. We could not brush for the last 5 days. And this taught us quite a few survival skills. And that was the first lesson. The next thing I would like to talk about is the people that we met on the way, called porters. They would carry heavy loads up and down the mountains, sometimes even 100 kilo. They get paid per kg they carry, so that's why they try to carry as much as they can. And we used to complain about carrying our own rucksacks. So the second lesson was to respect porters and anyone else who works hard to earn a living. The next thing I'd like to talk about is the oxygen levels. You may have thought the trek was the hardest part of the journey, but no. Dealing with the oxygen levels was the hardest part of the journey. After 4,000 meters above sea level, we completely lost our appetite and we barely ate more than 1 meal per day. And we had to get our oxygen levels checked every day. After walking, let's say, 10 to 20 steps, you'd get out of breath because of the altitude. On day 9, when we had completed 90% of the trek, we were just 6 kilometers away from base camp. My mum got ill, and she was put on with an oxygen cylinder the entire night, but by the time it was the morning, her oxygen levels were still in the 60s, so she had to get evacuated to Kathmandu. It was heartbreaking for the entire family, but we knew we had a mission to complete, so we went on and did it. And the third and final lesson is that it's not about your physical ability, it's about your mental resilience. And if you have a mission to complete, don't give up and keep going. And finally, I'd like to talk about us reaching base camp. We reached Everest base camp on day 11. That was my favorite part of the trek. The altitude was 5,364 meters above sea level. And my favorite part about reaching base camp was that I held up the banner for the school.
Okay, what I would like to do, so as you can imagine, trekking up to Everest base camp is something pretty special. So Vivaan has got the most lovely memento, which is a certificate that says he has completed that amazing journey. So I would like to present this to Vivaan this morning. So Vivaan, this is for you. Thank you very much for sharing that. Can we give Vivaan a big round of applause? Can you hold that up? So Vivaan, I think it's pretty safe to say, I'm actually a little bit speechless. I don't really know how to capture in words how immensely proud that we are of you and your whole family. This is such an epic journey that you've been on for such a wonderful cause. And we are so incredibly thrilled that we've been able to share in some of that with you and hear about the beginning and the training and everything that you've achieved. And I think the thing that surprised me most is how humble you are. So I'm not sure if you noticed, but the day that Vivaan just came back into school, which is like any other day, he'd done this amazing adventure, this epic journey, and he just walked into school, good morning, Mrs. Waller, carried on, saw some of his friends, gave him a lovely hug, and he just carried on about his day as if nothing had happened. And I think that's a real mark of someone who's really special. He wasn't looking for that big grandeur and that big applause. He did something incredible, was proud of it, but was quietly humble about it as well. We are so incredibly proud.